One Piece, episode 28. Okay, some stuff to talk about. So it's like, I know I was going to do this whole thing of One Piece and try to catch up. I mean, I'm just giving my thoughts, and maybe I'll keep watching. Basically, I'm leaning towards like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. It feels like a pain sometimes. Like, basically, I'm not like rushing to like do it, and sometimes it's just like, all right, let's get this over with. I don't know, because it's like, what's the big deal? And also, it's just like, okay, it's annoying at times. I know there were some really good episodes, but it's also like, I don't know. I shouldn't have to force myself to do this. What's everyone's obsession with One Piece? Like, cuz I'm thinking about the anime Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is just like One Piece, but like probably better. One Piece doesn't really make sense, and again, it's just I can't really stand the main character. This is all a battle anime thing, and it's like, okay, Luffy's going up against Don Krieg. Who cares? Like, who cares? I'm gonna keep comparing it to Naruto because we're kind of at the exact same part of the story. I mean, man, maybe even earlier. See, like Naruto got to the Land of Waves arc really early on, and they were fighting Zabuza, and there was some heavy stuff there, like I've already talked about, where Naruto wanted to prove himself that he was a great ninja, but then he froze up during his first real mission, and then he made that oath where he's like, I'm not gonna like back down, and then he's up against Zabuza, who's like scary as heck, and Naruto's scared out of his mind, and is gonna run away, but then he remembers what he said, and that was his moment to like stand up and prove that he meant what he said, and he like ran towards Zabuza, and it's like, yeah, he got kicked back, but then it's like he was really just trying to get his headband because Zabuza was talking so much smack at him of like, you're not really a ninja. Naruto like went and got the headband because it's like, yes, I am a ninja, and he's gonna prove it right now or die trying. And it's just like Luffy, I don't get him, and it's like, again, maybe his backstory is explained later, but it's like we're kind of into this stuff. In Fairy Tail, Natsu and Gray kind of like have that same vibe as Luffy, except they make more sense. And you get them. And for one thing, they feel like real characters. Like they feel like real characters. Luffy is just there and he's inconsistent and he's just there for the author to do whatever. And it's just like, because you got to have one who like stands up for friendship and family and all that stuff. And it's like, who cares? Like, I'm watching this thing and it's like, the Don Krieg's guy, like, ends up sacrificing himself with the gas mask so that Luffy can have a gas mask and stay alive. And it's like, oh, that's such a shame. Luffy almost died, but he didn't. And it's like, because, I can't stand this character and I don't care about him. And that's why it's like the problem with One Piece, and I said this way back early on in like the very first video, it's like you could do a lot of other stuff with the time. This is a time commitment and it's a pain. And it's just feeling like wasted time. It feels like I could be doing other stuff. Maybe it's because My Hero Academia, the last season, has just come out and I'm going to get on watching that. There's so much better stuff out there, and it's like I don't want to bail on this, but it's like maybe I'll watch occasionally. But dang, it's just like I don't feel it. Sometimes there's good stuff, but it's like there's so much better stuff out there, and that's the problem. This is mediocre. And, again, it's just battle stuff. Luffy's fighting Don Krieg. I don't know why Don Krieg isn't just trying to knock him in the water. He knows about the devil fruit. I think he knows that Luffy can't be in the water. Like, again, that's not really a thing that's brought up often, is the whole thing that Luffy can't be in the water. That was brought up once, and then it's never brought up again, ever. I feel like if you knew the devil fruit's weaknesses, that would be your main thing of like, okay, throw some water on Luffy or something. And also, yeah, how much water does it take to incapacitate Luffy? I don't know, all this stuff. And man, maybe I'm thinking too hard about this anime. Excuse me for putting thought into this. And it's like, because again, the fights are like mediocre. I don't care about the fights. Again, Naruto had better fights. Not all the time, especially later in part two, but like most of the time, because they felt real, especially, well, early on, like, not to just repeat what most people say, where it's like, yo, the Naruto part one was about ninjas doing ninja stuff. Later on in part two, it got a little carried away, but it's like Luffy's just like, all right, let me just punch this person, and then they'll like break out like a bigger weapon or something, and it's like, who cares? This is not as entertaining as people like say, or maybe it's just because I'm older now. But even as a kid, I didn't like this. Who cares? Naruto was more about some stuff. I'd rather sit down and watch all of Naruto than this stuff. Like, there's stuff to talk about in Naruto. One Piece, nothing's happening, and I know that's the thing, but it's just like, who cares? I don't care. I've already said I don't care about Luffy. I care about the other characters, but again, Naruto, I at least cared about the main characters, Naruto and Sasuke, you know? Like, dang it. And it was artistic. Maybe that's just the anime, but it's like, it was so much more artistic than One Piece. One Piece is annoying. I can't stand the art style. It's ugly. And I know that's weird to say, but it's like, yeah, okay, this is just me complaining. I don't know why I'm complaining so much, but it's just this episode where it's like, there's so much other stuff you can do with your time, and I don't know if I'm going to follow through with this. I feel like there's so much other stuff I can do with my life. And again, it should be a joyful watch. People say it's one of the best things ever, right? It is the most popular thing. I'm only 28 episodes into this, and it's like, okay, you got 1,300 more episodes to go through. That doesn't make me excited, like, because it's like, it should be at least tolerable. Naruto, I mean, yeah, okay, the filler is really kind of the only part, and then towards the end, everything basically became filler and was really stalling out. But I mean, that's around episode 400 or something. Like, Naruto at least has stuff going on, and even then, like, some things where it's like when Naruto's training with Jiraiya, and that's kind of a filler episode, not really, but basically Sakura and Ino are trying to buy a present for Sasuke while he's in the hospital or something, and then Sasuke disappears and goes training with Kakashi. Okay, but like, that's one episode. It's like, okay, I'm into those episodes sometimes where it just shows them, I don't know, doing stuff. You know, that's relaxing sometimes. I can deal with that. I just hate recap fillers. Like, you know, where it's like, I really hate recap fillers. I mean, those are the worst. I'm at least okay with, like, you know, the filler where he comes across Sora, who inherited some chakra of the nine-tailed fox. That was a whole arc I could get into. And again, the whole filler arc of Naruto Part 1, which is like from episode 140 to episode 220, there was some really good, like, missions in there. I was into that. I could get down with that, even if, yeah, you could skip them all. But they were cool, and I'm glad Naruto went on a lot of missions with all the other ones, even though they never, like, talked about them before, even though they never talked about them again. Anyway, it's just like, Naruto's better than One Piece. One Piece is mediocre. I don't get it. I don't know. It's been around for like 30 years. That's something, but it's like, you know, so has Pokemon. And I don't know. You know, I don't know. I just don't know if I want to keep doing this. Anyway. The episode was fine. Luffy fought the dude, but it's also like, yeah, he doesn't give up. That's what makes him awesome. Whatever.